In terms of the natures of Mandarin and Cantonese, the biggest difference would be the pronunciation system. Mandarin Chinese consists of 4 tones for all the characters, whereas Cantonese uses 9 tones. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Marianne. I talk about Chinese history, culture, language, and lifestyle. If you're interested in these topics, make sure to subscribe to my channel and press the bell button so you'll be notified when I upload new videos every week. Okay, let's get started. So you're determined to learn Chinese language, right? That's great. But there are 2 types of Chinese, Mandarin and Cantonese. You are probably wondering, what are the differences? Which one is easier and more useful? Is it easy to shift from one to the other later in the future? In this video, I will answer all of your questions by giving you the 4 main differences between Mandarin and Cantonese, my recommendation on which one to start with, and the bonus information in the end, so stay tuned. First of all, they are used in different areas and regions. As you might already know, the Standard Mandarin is the official language of China. With more than 1 billion people speaking Mandarin Chinese, it is no doubt the #1 used language on Earth. Originally, it's a combination of Manchurian and Beijing dialect. Mandarin is by far the largest Chinese dialect group over a large geographical area. It is used in all regions in mainland China and Taiwan, including all the TV programs, radios, films, and series. Of course, given the fact that China is huge, you might pick up different accents when listening to people speak. In general, people in northern part of China have accents closer to Mandarin Chinese than people in the south. On the other hand, people in Hong Kong and Guangdong province speak Cantonese. It is more of a regional language compared to Mandarin Chinese, and there are more dynamic dialects in Cantonese. As a result, if you speak Mandarin Chinese to a southerner, he or she will understand, but a local Beijinger, for instance, is quite unlikely to understand Cantonese. Second difference is that they are used in different generations. In the southern part of China, there's an obvious distinction between the older generation and the millennials. Nowadays, nearly all the classes in school are required to be taught in Mandarin Chinese, which means that there are less and less young generations speaking Cantonese, maybe only at home with their grandparents. This phenomena raised a huge debate in the southern regions because the locals feel that a part of their unique culture, history, and even identity is fading away. I personally think they make a good point. It is sad to see some unique branches of the language being underappreciated by young people. However, it is inevitable given the massive immigration between the north and the south. For example, if the young southern people want to get into universities or find jobs in Beijing, and if they don't speak Mandarin Chinese, then it will lead to a lot of inconvenience and missed opportunities. The third difference is about pronunciation, especially tones and characters. In terms of the natures of Mandarin and Cantonese, the biggest difference would be the pronunciation system. Mandarin Chinese consists of 4 tones for all the characters, whereas Cantonese uses 9 tones. I know 4 tones are already very hard to handle, and I will make videos about the 4 tones in the future. But trust me when I say the 9 tones in Cantonese are actually more subtle. I used to have some classmates from Guangdong province and Hong Kong. I was so amazed at how they make such detailed distinguish because the 9 tones sound so similar, even for me. Now, let me give you a taste of these 2 languages. If you want to count from 1 to 10 in Mandarin Chinese, it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if you want to count from 1 to 10 in Cantonese, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you see the pronunciational differences? In addition, the Cantonese system is also associated with traditional Chinese characters. That's because the publications in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan are not incorporated into the simplification movement from 1949. So if you choose Cantonese, that means you need to learn traditional Chinese characters and be prepared to add a few more, sometimes a lot more, strokes. But the good news is, the 2 writing systems are at least 80% interchangeable. As you might notice, the language used in Taiwan is a special situation. Taiwanese use traditional Chinese characters, but they use Mandarin with a Taiwanese accent. So please make sure to do more research if you want to travel to or live in Taiwan. In my opinion, watching movies is a great way to start to get familiar with the language system. I have a whole playlist dedicated to mainland Chinese and Taiwanese movies, so you can check it out right here. The last difference is subtle, that is, the various expressions. In estimation, the two languages do have some overlaps, but in terms of using words, expressions, and constructing sentences, they are not completely interchangeable. What I mean is that even if I pronounce a Mandarin sentence in a perfect Cantonese way, the Cantonese speakers will still cannot understand me. It will be more than confusing because they use some unique expressions. And vice versa. When Hong Kong people try to speak standard Mandarin, even if their pronunciations are perfect for the Mandarin rules, it is still hard for mainland Chinese, especially northern Chinese people, to understand. Since I've listed 4 major differences between Mandarin and Cantonese, now I will give you my personal recommendation to help you make a decision. In general, if you're going to mainland China, it's better if you choose Mandarin Chinese plus a simplified Chinese characters. If you're going to Taiwan, then Mandarin Chinese plus traditional Chinese characters will be more useful. If you are thinking of living in Hong Kong, or you're dealing with Hong Kong companies, or your girlfriend or boyfriend is from Hong Kong and doesn't speak Mandarin Chinese, then Cantonese with traditional Chinese characters would be your best choice. If you're not planning to move to China and you just want to learn the most difficult language in the world for fun, then I highly recommend you to start with Mandarin Chinese with simplified Chinese characters. As I said before, Mandarin Chinese is more widely used, simpler to write, and easier to understand. And most people in Cantonese-speaking areas can even understand and speak Mandarin perfectly. So in my opinion, Mandarin Chinese is more suitable and useful in general. Once you have a decent level in Mandarin and you want to explore Hong Kong, for example, you can shift to Cantonese anytime you want. That's it. Here are the 4 major differences between Mandarin and Cantonese. Have you decided which one to learn? Tell me in the comment down below. And since you stick until the end, as promised, I have a bonus information for you. I will soon launch my very first online course to help you build a solid foundation in Mandarin Chinese. After this course, you will be able to master the tones, pronunciations, basic characters, and words. Also, you will have a bird's-eye view of how to learn Mandarin Chinese. This course will be on pre-sale until November. I will put the link in the description box down below. If you haven't made up your mind yet, don't worry. You can always like this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram if you want to know more about Chinese culture and Chinese proverbs. I also have other videos about modern Chinese culture, fun facts, and Chinese table manners. You can find them right here. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week.